Well, good afternoon. It is Friday, May the 8th, 2020. This is Journal 335, T+403 or thereabouts. You know, yesterday was really kind of nuts. I was involved in probably 5 Zoom meetings. 2 were involved with friends, sort of happy hour Zoom meetings, but the majority of them were really focused on the book and business and things that had to do, which was particularly appropriate. As the other day, I had a Zoom interview for a new program that Janeane Bernstein is putting together called Out of the Box. And the interview that I was involved in was primarily focused on the notion of working remotely. Now, I've been working remotely for the better part of 40 years, really, as a contributing editor to a number of different publishing companies and trade journals in the industry. So I have a fair amount of experience of working or collaborating with a group of people that are not in an office that I share. So it seemed particularly appropriate to discuss that issue because it is something that I'm familiar with, and especially now in the middle of the pandemic and all the other things that we're going through. It's something that so many other people are going through. And based upon my experience, Janeane thought it would be a good idea for us to spend a couple of minutes together talking about that. And we did, and it was an interesting conversation. It focuses on all of the D words that a lot of people take for granted. And D words are important, words like discipline, dedication, and words like that, and also, words that don't have such a positive connotation to them, like distractions. And this is something that I'm acutely familiar with as I'm watching our kids, both kids and their families, negotiate working at home while they're working remotely. So we watch the distractions in real time at times. And it's something that if you're going to survive in the future, it's something I think you really need to develop as a skill set, because I think that this is, especially post-COVID, going to be more and more normal, more and more natural. I think people are going to be inherently reluctant to, be squished together in office spaces. So it's something that we all have to be aware of. The question is, how do you work alone together? And the answer is dependent upon the individual. It's dependent upon the team. And it's dependent upon whatever the expectations are and how well you establish what those expectations are and what success looks like when you're done with this. But again, it's something that I'm really familiar with. I wrote a book and collaborated with an editor, working alone together. Having Zoom meetings on a regular basis, and I'm still working to accomplish the completion of the audiobook, and working on the web page. So it's something that I'm doing on a weekly basis, multiple times. It's also something that outside of the workplace, everyone is starting to come to terms with, or to get used to, with regard to social interaction, especially when you can't just knock on someone's door and sit down in their family room or living room for a cup of coffee. So the important thing is to establish the ground rules up front of what it is that you're looking for and what success is supposed to look like, and then the work from there. and to recognize what tasks are appropriate for you to complete on your own. And again, what the metrics of success are going to look like, and what projects you're going to work on together and how that's going to work, especially if you're going to have a Zoom meeting with multiple individuals present. And there's always danger in this. I don't know whether I don't know whether any of you saw the TV coverage of a Zoom meeting that was going on, and unfortunately, someone forgot to mute their telephone or tablet. It's hard to believe they would have walked into the restroom with a, portable computer, but they forgot to put it on mute, and it was pretty apparent that somebody flushed the toilet somewhere. So you shouldn't have to tell people to be aware of stuff like that, probably not a bad idea to remind people to put their phones and their recording devices or their capturing devices on mute when they're not speaking. It'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are on this. I know that there's one group that we've been involved with for the better part of 30 years or more. And the last time we were supposed to get together, obviously we can't because of social distancing, physical distancing. But we managed to do a Zoom meeting, and it was actually really enjoyable seeing everybody and having the opportunity to catch up. That's in a social setting. The other night we did the same thing with some other friends. When it comes to work, I think it's even more critical to have that personal interaction with whoever you're working with and whatever the nature of the project is that you're trying to complete, and how you define whatever success is going to look like. So again, I thought it was an appropriate topic for Janeane and out of the box. And I think that in this particular case, I was able to contribute because of my unique experience writing 8 books and dealing with a publishing company that was 3,000 miles away. So my experience with that goes back to 2002, 2001. So almost 20 years ago. And continues to this day with the editorial team I work with at 10 Missions Publishing and Ratchet and Wrench, the magazine that I'm currently writing for. So if you have any suggestions, ideas, comments, I'd be really interested in what you have to say. As soon as I know when that interview is going to air, by the way, I'll go ahead and let you know. Believe me, you will be the second or third folks in the line to know about that. In the meantime, stay well, stay focused, stay safe, stay home, take care.